welcome back to another edition of Forex Tech Magazine. This is your host, Lewis. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is January 2019. Wow, man. It is another year, another day, rather, in the books. Um, sorry about that. Slowly getting through this month, quickly getting through this year. If you haven't made any money yet so far this year, hang tight. Once again, we're going to try to help you out with that with some tips and some tidbits as far as what you can do, possibly improve your trading strategies. But before we get into that, we want to get into our disclaimer. Disclaimer goes a little something like this. Any and all information given to you or shared with you by Forex Tech Magazine should be considered to be for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing that we share with you should be considered to be investment advice. If you're in need or you're seeking investment advice, then our suggestion to you would be to seek out the assistance of a licensed, competent advisor. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into why you came here in the first place. And that is to look at some trading ideas. First of all, let me get this right here out of the way. This is something I was looking at a while ago for the US dollar, Japanese yen, but that fib has completed, as you can see. We hit that D extension. Actually, went past that D extension. That's that sell-off that happened a couple of days ago. Let's get okay. Here we go. Right here, Great Britain pound, New Zealand dollar. Let's look at this right here. Now, as you guys are aware, today is the big day. Today is the vote day for the Brexit. Now, depending on what's going to happen with that, it definitely is going to have an effect on this market. It's my understanding that it's supposed to happen sometimes between 1 and 4. I think the 1 and 4. I think I have to go back and double check. Maybe let's see something here. Yeah, sometime between 1 and 4, 1 and 5, something like that. Eastern Standard Time today, if I'm not mistaken, that is supposed to happen. Now, I could be wrong on that. If I am, forgive me. Go back and do your own homework on that. But at any rate, between now and then, expect some fluctuation in this currency pair, and definitely after that vote, expect some fluctuation in that currency pair. I think right now what people are doing is kind of staying. Smart people, I think, are staying put. I think greedy newbies. Erratic type people right now are taking positions. Now, it could be that some institutional investors have already taken positions, but I think for the most part, they're taking they're placing their orders and maybe doing it on a wait and see basis. And what I mean by that is a lot of times what you can do, if you have a situation like this right here where you got a big news event that's coming in to the market, you can go in and you can place like an order at a swing low, and then you place another one at a swing high. Because essentially what you're doing is you're waiting for a breakout to occur, right? And so price may trade in between the swing low and the swing high for a moment, but then once that breakout occurs, then you're going to get some actual price movement, some actual price that's going to push through and actually possibly go through that swing high or through that swing low. And then once it does, it's going to trigger that order, and then you can, have your take profits lined up somewhere down the line. Now, I just put a little arbitrary swing low, swing high. That right there was no, by any means, no swing high, swing low spot telling you where you should be able to get in at. That was just me just putting some lines here on the chart, just kind of demonstrate a concept that I was talking about. But at any rate, you get the idea. And I think that's what a lot of the smart people are doing, just kind of putting those type trades on and not necessarily getting in the market right now. That's why I believe you're going to see the market continue to trade sideways over the next couple of hours until that vote takes place. And then once it does, then you start looking for some strong moves in and out of the market. Also, too, because it's going to happen after the market has closed for London, which you just be aware that even though you're going to see those strong moves, you can always get back in on this trade after the fact. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to be in on it when it makes that first move. All you got to do is know which way it's going to go. By the time the London session opens up, you should already have, your first wave, whether it's going to be up or down, and then you probably have some bit of a pullback, and you probably could be able to go ahead and get some fibs in on that move to help you get a good take profit and stop loss for future trades on that particular pair. Okay. But for right now, as you can see, it's kind of moving just sideways a little bit, right? One thing that we did do on this one right here, we had put some fibs on here, and that's just because they had crossed over the counter trend line, got into the buy zone. So we want to look at some potential areas to buy and then some potential areas to sell. Don't know if this is going to really add up to a hill of beans after this information comes out today, but it's something we'll keep track of. What we've been noticing is that there looks like there's kind of a upward bias for Great Brent pound pairs at the moment. Don't know how long it's going to hold out, as you can see, right? Moving up. It could be something that plays out where there's actually teeth to it, or it could be something whereas, it fizzles out along the way. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see by this time tomorrow. We'll know. Okay? There's Great Brent pound, Canadian dollar. Same thing. Looks like there's an upward momentum. People are buying up on this. Once again, we'll find out if there's any type of continuation. And this could actually be. Let's look at this here. Oops, it's messy. It's too messy. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Now we could be having the making for a somewhat of a reversal in this currency pair. All right. Right now, still kind of coming off of the bottoms, right, of this pair. All right, so it has some ways that it can push up to get to get back to a previous high. All right. And if for some reason it was able to get past that previous high, then we could also potentially look at this thing as being maybe reversing off of this bottom. But that's a little bit too early and too much to say at this moment. The better thing to do is just kind of look at what's going to happen by the end of the day, and then we can kind of, like I said, have a better idea and then go from there. Okay. But it is pressing up right now at the moment, which is a good thing. Let's see. Well, it's a good thing if you're a Great Brent pound bull, right? See, Great Brent pound, Japanese yen. Okay, so the yen. This did exactly what we talked about. Remember we talked about I think it was in the last session. Price, in order for this to be a buy for us, price would have to press through this downward trend line, and you see right here, price pressed through the downward trend line with some definitely bullish authority, which is pretty cool with this particular candlestick here. It then pulled back, retest that trend line, and then proceed to move up, pull back, push back up, retest it. This resistance area here, pull down. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. I hope I got it back. I didn't know I didn't get it. I didn't get it back in the right spot. It sucks. Let's do this. Maybe I did. Anyway, it did. It pulled down. It retested. It pushed through this resistance here, right? Pushed back down and then came back, closed over it, and pushed back above it. So, if you were paying attention around this point here, you would have known to buy into this particular pair. You know that your target was here, right? This is the D extension. So it still hasn't quite hit the D extension yet, but there's definitely some room for it to do so. So once again, this right here had you taken this trade. Very successful, could have been a very successful trade for you. Hopefully you're paying attention to what we talked about as far as when to get into market, when not to be into this market. And as you can see, this right here was clearly a buy signal into this market. And if you follow that buy signal into this market, you would have made money. What is the next one? Next one is the Great Britain Pound, Aussie Dollar. Once again, here goes another one that has a upward bias. Price is pressing up. I think for this one right here, that we initially had our, the fibs drawn with price moving to the downside, but as you can see, price pushed back up, and then here, price actually crossed over our A. So essentially, what it did is pretty much killed out this fifth sequence here, and that lets you know that the move is not necessarily down, but would be to look for the move up, right? And once again, all these Great Britain Pound pairs, it looks like they're having the bias, upward bias. There's a lot of people coming in, buying into this with the expectation that whatever this news is going to come out is going to be pro Great Britain Pound, right? Because if it comes out otherwise, you're going to see a massive sell-off in this currency pair. So I'm just telling you, just be ready for it. It's going to be a good move. It's going to be a big move. Just make sure you're either on the right side of the move or outside of the move and wait for the second move to occur, because there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to jump in and be on every, buy on every bottom and sell on every top. You don't have to do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't put that type of pressure on yourself to perform like that. Just make sure that you're able to make some money when you go into the market. That's all you got to do. This is like Great Britain Pound US dollar. Of course, made money on this right here. This right here was a shallow pullback. All right, and as you can see, counter trend line breaks. All right, these were our buying opportunities, our buying signals into the market. All right, and if you would have bought off of the counter trend line breaks, right, you'd have been successful because price target hit a little while ago, hit Monday, right over here. All right, and here we are now, getting a little bit of a pullback, but as you can see, price is moving up. Okay, kind of came out the gate kind of loopy. It's going sideways for a minute, but eventually it caught a hold of itself and it started making sense for itself, and it's moving up. It took it about 7 days or so, but it's moving up. Okay? So that looks pretty good. Once again, all of these Great Britain Pound pairs are pushing up right now. They're pressing up. Hey, Grandma Sleep Less. Glad to see that you're up, my friend. Let's go, Lou. So all these pairs are pressing up right now at the moment. So once again, I would just kind of stay flat until we see what's coming out with this vote this afternoon. And then after we get this vote in, that's when I would look to either buy or sell this market. Okay? Boom. Got that out of the way. Let's get over to the US Canadian dollar. I want to check out this pair real quick. Right now we got downward bias on this particular pair. Right now it's slowly starting to change, and here's the downward trend line. I'm pretty sure that we could probably put in a little inner trend line. It's showing it's going, a sharper decline, right? But right now the overall bias for this particular pair appears to be down. Let's look at it on at least on an hourly chart. Let's look at it on a higher time frame. Yeah, so even on a daily chart, right? This is the bias initially, right? Back in October, it was going up. And then as of December or January 1st, right, price has been coming down. Now, it had a pullback for the last couple of days, but it looks like it's resuming this downward trend. Now, from this right here, you could, I just did actually, put in a, let's fibs. Well, let's look at this, right? So these were here the original fibs that were on this original northward trending path, right? But as you can see, prices pulled back tremendously over the last couple of days. Now, it hasn't passed the A as of yet, but it's getting pretty close to where the A is, right? So the question would be, well, once it passed the A, that means that the trend is no longer going north and it should be turning south, and you're absolutely right. But let's check something else too. So a couple of things with this particular pair that would make me mindful is one, you have this massive pullback since January 1st, right? This thing's going down. And remember, one of the things that we talked about was that typically currency pairs tend to make their or start their trend for like the next quarter or so, usually around the first part of the year, right? So usually somewhere midway through the first part of the year, part of the month, it'll start making that move, whether it's going to be up or down for the next quarter or so. In this particular pair here, it has, looks like, started it early, right, around January 1st. Now, price has broken through the trend line. So typically what happens when it breaks the trend, it goes down, it retests, and it's either going to push back through or it's going to break down farther. In this particular pair here, it looks like it broke down farther, right? Or it's breaking down farther, right? Because here goes the retest, but then it looks like here may be a potential sell-off, right? So with that being said, your actual new fibs may be here going down, right? And this 128.62 might actually be where you need to put your target for this market. That's about 387 pips away. Maybe. And like I said, we'll probably need another 24 to 48 hours. Just kind of look at this thing right here, kind of let it play out a little bit longer for us to really kind of determine if this is the appropriate action for this particular pair. And the reason being is because we want to give the market opportunity to play out a little bit. Also, too, I'm not big on trading off of a daily time frame. I'm more so trading off of an hour time frame, right? And if we trade off the hour time frame, we understand that our target would be here at the moment, because right now we're still in that downward move, which is 115 pips, right? With about 115, 117 pips worth of risk. There's almost a 1-to-1 risk ratio right now at the moment if you decide to get into this particular pair. And the question is, would you decide to get into this particular pair? It's definitely let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely in the sell zone, right? You know, it's kind of funky. It's like selling sideways. It's in the sell zone, so you could sell it potentially. Like I said before, your stop loss for me anyway would be back above the A. Just because price has not closed below the B as of yet, and that's going to be my conservative stop loss. It's almost a 1-to-1 risk ratio. At the moment, I'm not ready to take this position in this one because I'm still locked into my trade with the Australian US dollar. But now, if we were able to get this one completed, which hopefully we should be here shortly, then we'd be looking at going into the US Canadian dollar. So while we're waiting on that, right now is up So we gained $50 in this trade so far. Here's our stop loss, all right, and here is our where we are right now on this price. I thought we were going to trigger it on Friday, and we came pretty close. This is our stop. I mean, I'm sorry, not stop loss, but our take profit. This is our take profit here. All right, we came really close on Friday, but we were not able to complete it. Then I thought maybe Sunday would definitely be it, and Sunday didn't do it either. And then of course Monday didn't do it. It just seemed like it was just a little bit of a pullback from all this upward momentum. Hopefully today after it's recovered from that pullback, that we can go ahead and get it done. We're only a couple of pips away from doing it. Like 26 pips away. So 26 to almost 27 pips away. Under 30 pips basically from getting it done. That's another 30, so it's about $80 altogether. Be said and done. About no profit on this particular pair, which is pretty cool. So after we get this, then we could look at going into the U.S. Canadian dollar, which if it's still around 115, that'll be great to add another 115 to the 80. Once again, what we're doing, if you're new to this channel or if you're new to what we're looking at here, we're trying to take a small account, very small account, right? And what we want to do is we want to basically use the power of compound growth, right? Compound interest, right? To grow this exponentially, not linearly, but exponentially over time. So we're trying to see how fast we can grow it. One of the things that we are having some issues with is that price doesn't want to be cooperative as far as time constraint wise, right? Because we want to be in and out of these trades and not stuck in these trades for an extended period of time. But we also understand that we can't control that factor of the trade, so we just got to kind of sit in there and trade it. Would have liked to have really hit a huge number within the first 90 days. We're still within the first 30 days, actually probably the first 10 15 days. But the expectation is that as we begin to move forward, as we trade with this over the next 90 days, that we're able to use leverage to our advantage, along with our trading techniques to be able to, like I said, grow this account exponentially, right? Anyway, guys, that is all I have for us right now at the moment, right? So today's going to be kind of a short day, right? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had opportunity to pick up some tidbits from us. I'm about to get out of here. If you just joined us now, feel free to go back and play back the video and look at the information that we presented with you. Just one more thing, Great Britain Pound, all those pairs are pointing up right now at the moment. I would probably sit on any trades for the Great Britain Pound until after we get that vote in today, and then once that vote comes in, feel free to go for it. It's going to be a lot of money to be made out there, and there's also going to be a lot of money that's going to be lost out there, so just make sure you're on the right side of that trade, okay? Anyway, guys, take care. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you in another 23 hours. Bye now.